My name is Andrew Richards. I'm Director of Business Development at SoundHound, based in France. I've been working in the voice tech space for almost 20 years and spent more than 15 years working with text-to-speech technology. When choosing a TTS voice, it's a good idea to start by defining the identity of your ideal voice. This should ideally include a discussion within your team and some research about the age, the gender, and the accent of your voice. Don't let the default TTS voice define who you are as a company. One risk is that you'll sound like everyone else. And another risk is creating a mismatch between how you want to be perceived as a company and how users actually perceive you. So a good example is the BBC, who recently announced their own voice assistant. The voice identity was carefully crafted after months of research. They decided to break away from the received pronunciation BBC English type voice and went for a northern accent. They also decided to use a male voice as opposed to a female voice to avoid perpetuating gender stereotypes. You can test the accuracy of TTS by seeing how it handles addresses, names, numbers, foreign words or homographs, but evaluating the voice itself can be really subjective because people react emotionally to voices, whether they realize it or not. We can be more forgiving of a pleasant sounding voice that makes lots of mistakes than an unpleasant voice with impeccable pronunciation skills. The typical criteria will include things like naturalness, pleasantness, and intelligibility. But as the technology gets more natural and intelligible, the emotional connection users have to the voice will become much more key. So it's important to ensure that the test subjects are a representative of the users who are going to interact with the voice. According to most studies, neural TTS is more human-like, natural, and pleasant than concatenative TTS, but currently it can only run in a cloud environment. However, in noisy environments, neural TTS can be less intelligible, which can be problematic for some users and for some use cases like announcements in public spaces, for example. The advantage of being less costly, more easy to embed in an offline use case, and being more intelligible in noisy environments means that the concatenative TTS is still better suited for some situations. So one thing that can happen with custom TTS projects is not getting enough people involved when selecting the voice talent for a TTS voice. This should typically be a process where as many different stakeholders as possible get involved to get some consensus around the type of voice that you want to implement.